Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Glad you could attend. Step inside the tent, my friends and movie maniacs, as we look at as a release from Unearthed Films. Now, if you're familiar with the show at all, we've covered Unearthed Films in the past, and they live up to their name, digging up and releasing, giving distribution to some of the most underground, extreme, disturbing, vile at times films, and not vile as far as how the film's put together, but just subject matter, and they do not shy away from the things that are definitely going to offend some folks and definitely disturb many folks out there. And we've got one for you today in the form of a Visceral, Between the Ropes of Madness, from director Philippe Eluti, who plays also in front of the camera as a boxer who has the fight of his career. It's going to launch his career if he can win. And as you can imagine, it doesn't go the way he wanted it to. It goes very sideways, and soon he is contacted by a being named Judas, who basically convinces him to go out and get Judas' souls by way of kidnapping and torturing and brutally killing folks, men and women both. He's a little more particular towards women, but doesn't really matter. We watch the boxers descent more and more into hell, basically within their mind, as they try to serve their Lord and Master, but at the same time are going kind of fighting it a little bit. Yeah, this is not going to be for everyone. This is definitely for select tastes, on the verge of some fetish horror, okay? Along the lines of like the Slaughter Vomit Dolls, but or the August Underground trilogy, right? This is not casual viewing. This is not a film that you come home, sit down and go, I'm going to pop a beer or drink my favorite beverage and just sit down and watch Visceral, Between the Ropes of Madness, because this disturbed the fuck out of me. All right? This is a disturbing fucking film. Well crafted, interesting story. At the same time, the visuals and the things going on in this film are just going to make you wince, cringe, look away, and maybe get a little sick to your stomach. I didn't do that. I've got a strong stomach, but let me tell you, there were a few times when I was just like, whoa, okay. Philippe Eluti really giving us this guy who is torn. It was a little hard at first telling where things were, the way they cut in between scenes, because we get flashbacks to when just before, how he's preparing for his boxing match, and then present day where he's doing all the real mean and nasty shit going on. And yeah, so we jump between that. So it's a little bit tough to tell that that's what they're doing at first. But once you figure out what they're doing, like, oh, okay, this is the order of things. Yeah, the blood and gore effects. That's what's always interesting about these extreme films, is that when it comes to the visceral gore and blood effects going on, they tend to look really good and very realistic, if nothing else, even though these things are shot on very limited budget. So mad props there is very disturbing. There is the bondage tie-up of his victims are done in such a way that they are done in a style that is very familiar to some who are into that sort of thing. And yeah, again, that's why Visceral, Between the Ropes of Madness is for select tastes. It's one of those films that it's an exploration into madness and failure and how that can drive someone mad, especially when they hinge their entire life on one single event. Maybe I'm making a lake out of a puddle, but beneath all the blood and torture and using a person as a punching bag, literally, um, there is this kind of theme of, the boxer who was pulled into this darkness because they put so much on just one event in their life, and that failure had such a catastrophic effect on them, it made them susceptible to the darkness. And seeing that being explored in such an extreme way was interesting. Is this something I would watch again? Probably not, but I am appreciative of the craft that was put into here, not only in the special effects, the acting, what they were trying to say with it, I think. And again, maybe I am making mountains out of molehills, but I think I'll stick with that. But if you're into that underground, extreme, visceral, gory, filthy, just, oh my God, disturbing visuals and storytelling, Visceral Between the Ropes of Madness is for you if you are a casual horror fan. This is not casual viewing by any means. So there you have it. If you have seen this movie, I'd love to hear your constructive thoughts on it. Like, subscribe, bells and whistles, all that here on YouTube. Help us get to 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Can only do that with your help. I thank you for watching, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.